So on this platform, what we do is we speak around topics around raising our consciousness, vibrational awareness, understanding the hidden laws of the world and the secret teachings of all ages, and much, much more. But today, as we said, we are going to be speaking about fear, what fear is and how fear can really impact our lives. This is a very important topic, and there are very fundamental elements to it that if we do not understand and we are not aware of, then we will be living a kind of an ignorant life where this is playing out in the background, in the subconscious of our mind, and having a very big impact upon what we see, how we are, how the world treats us, how we respond to the world. And it will definitely create our reality. But this reality is going to be one that is a negative reality. And you're going to find a lot of negative synchronicities that come into your life. So stay tuned, and we're going to be speaking about this. Hello, brothers and sisters. I hope you guys are all doing well. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I hope everyone is safe and sound in this era of COVID-19, a pandemic that's gone right around the world. I don't need to tell you about it. It's everywhere. And a lot of people are finding that they have to work from home. I myself just came from a conference meeting from home, and now I don't usually wear a shirt and tie to a YouTube video, but I decided to keep the attire on. A lot of people have now lost their lives and have become ill to the virus, and my thoughts and prayers are with those families and friends that have lost their loved ones, and I wish a speedy recovery to those people who have fallen ill due to the virus. People have lost their jobs, their livelihood, and are now facing the prospect of going back to the normal world without a job, without any kind of source of income, and they're living under fear and apprehension of how they're going to feed their family, how they're going to pay their bills. Now, these emotions are obviously low resonant emotions, and unfortunately, when you're already down and out and you're feeling these low resonance, sometimes the universe is going to give you even more reasons to worry and feel fearful. The universe has certain rules, the way it works. It's in effect a mirror of yourself. Now, whatever emotional state you may be, it kind of reflects that back at you, because it wants you to have a look at yourself. Now, this is not always helpful or understandable by people. Though I have just fallen down, I'm suffering, I got fear, anxiety, and the last thing I need is the world to come around and give me a kick and give me the same thing that I'm already experiencing. I don't need to experience it anymore. Unfortunately, the universe does not work how human mind works, but there is patterns that we need to learn, and there's patterns that we need to understand. If we don't understand them, then it can be very detrimental to our well-being. Okay guys, so what I want you to do is I want you to have a look at this diagram. Now what I'm going to do is put up a diagram on my right hand side. I'll move towards my left and make some room for it. With the magic of television, we're going to have a diagram that's going to pop up. Well, it will be there after I finish recording. But this diagram, as you can see, is a diagram that's been constructed by a notable professor from Harvard University who goes by the name of, I believe, David Hawkins, Professor David Hawkins, and it comes from his book, Power versus Force. And he's a very notable figure in the fields of spirituality and spiritual research. And what he's done there is it's given all the different emotional resonant state of being a different value. And he started right at the top by giving 700 plus to enlightenment. And there are more things, more state of resonance above that, but this will be a kind of a good ending point for our discussion. But it's 700 plus for enlightenment, and it goes down to peace 600, joy, which resonates at 540, love resonates at 500, And then you go to reasoning, acceptance, willingness, neutrality, courage. And right at the bottom, what you have is you have the low resonant state of being. Yeah, so you got shame, which is well known to be a low resonant, very negative state of emotional state of being, and that resonates at 20. And you got guilt, apathy, and grief, which are all low resonance. And just above that, you have fear, and this is what we're talking about. Fear resonates at 100. And what happens is when you resonate at a very low state of being, the world, under the law of the universe, has many laws. One of those laws that we know about is called like attracts like. Now, when you resonate at a particular level, it doesn't matter what the values are. The universe doesn't understand things in values. It really understands things as just two things, two components that are of a similar type. It just brings them together. Now, when you resonate with fear, you get things that you are fearful of. Yeah, it's a very kind of a deep kind of thing that goes on a universal level. There's many laws, some laws that we see, some laws we don't see. These are the laws that we don't see, but we know the patterns and we know they do exist, and we can define them, and we can identify them just by mere patterns. When you look around the world, you can see many patterns. Like attracts like is everywhere. Birds of a feather flock together. These are old sayings that people have identified since day one, which is when one thing resonates on a particular level, it draws, it magnetizes everything towards it. There is text in religious scriptures that says the same thing. What you put forward is what you get back. Yeah, is a type of it kind of spins off like attracts like. Yeah, so there's a correlation between what you give out is what you get back. What goes around comes around. Is also another kind of like a branch away from like attracts like, but it works on a very similar level. Like attracts like is just the universe's way of telling you who you are. In essence, it's a perfect mirror. The universe is like a perfect mirror, even more perfect than an actual mirror. The actual mirror is actually got a little bit of imperfection, which is that it's opposite. It's not giving you a correct view of yourself. Yeah, there's a bit of imperfection in the sense that it's not orientated in the correct way. Yeah, so if you pick up a cup with your right hand, it's gonna pick up the cup with its left hand. Yeah, so this is not correlating in the same way, but the universe is even more perfect than that. Yeah, it gives you a perfect impression and a perfect reflection of your internal state of being, your beliefs, faith, your core emotional state, and your perception. Now you may ask, why does the universe want to show me who I am? Well, there are many reasons behind that. We can speak a lot more on that on a different video. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but on a deeper level, it wants to conscientize you. It wants to raise your consciousness higher, or it wants to send you a bit more lower. Yeah, so it's up to you which way you want to go, but it's got a duty to help you a little bit, which is to raise you up or make you go lower. It's up to you really. But yeah, so that's the law of like attracts like. Now what it does, it tries to bring all the resonant emotional state and things that resonate on a similar level. It draws them together. So low resonant state of being, it draws low resonant things towards it. It gravitates towards that. And the high level resonant things will resonate with high level beings. And that's just the way it works. Now it's observable by looking at it, by observing the patterns. So in essence, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are resonating on a higher level of resonance consciousness as possible. So what we will do is we're going to expect to see the same thing being given back to us by the universe. Now, this isn't going to happen straight away. there's a toroidal field that comes out of the human being, and it takes a while for that to then cycle its way back to the human being. So it doesn't happen instantly, but it does happen if you keep that same resonance long enough. Now, what we want to do is we want to explore ways of raising our consciousness, raising our resonance. So one of the ways that I will say encourage people to raise their resonance is by conscientizing yourself. Number one, yeah, if you conscientize yourself, if you educate yourself, if you know about something such as the laws of the world and the universe and how it impacts us, then already what we've done is we've conscientized ourselves to that kind of possibility that these things do happen, so we can navigate through that now. We need to also understand that every situation, when we apply a particular meaning, whether it be positive or negative, in essence is our own reflection of that situation. A situation is neither positive nor negative, but it's a combination of both or none. It's just a situation, and if we apply a negative a belief to it, it's only because of the belief that we were given of it from a prior experience. Now, what we need to do is we need to detach ourselves from those prior experiences and try to look at things in a neutral point of view, to see the fact that every situation has both positive and negative. And what we want to do is we want to focus more on the positive elements of a given situation and try to focus less on the negative elements of it. So another law is of the universe is where you put your focus, that's the way your universe will go, that's the way your world will go. So if you focus on the negative, that's the way your world's going to go. It's going to go towards the negative. If you focus towards the positive, then you're going to see that it's the universe starts giving you back positive. So every situation has both positive and negative, but all we need to do is focus in the way we want to go. So remember earlier on I said about the choice that the universe gives you when it's conscientizing you. So here the choice is, do you want to look at a situation in a positive way or in a negative way? So obviously we want to look at things in a positive way. So it's like driving a car. You know, when you choose either you want to go left or you want to go right, and the universe just gives you these choices, and it gives you these circumstances in your life, but all you need to do is make the choice of looking at things in a positive way. So another thing what we can do is we can start planning. We can start planning, and we can start writing down our plans as well. There's untold amount of magic and miracle in writing and planning. So every morning what we need to do is we need to get up first thing early in the morning, and we need to write the plan for the day. We need to write down what the plan is, what we're going to do, and what kind of outcome do we want as soon as this situation with the virus is over. How do we want to see ourselves in the future? Where do we want to be? And we need to start working, and we need to start planning right now. So we need to start writing these things down. There's a magic and a miracle in writing and planning, so please don't ignore this. Write down exactly all the things you need to do, and how you want to pursue, maybe getting to the next job, getting to the next business, the next opportunity that's waiting outside for you as soon as the quarantine is over. So guys, we've spoken about things that we must do in order to make ourselves feel good, and for us to look at things in a positive way and not be fearful. But there are other things we mustn't do. We mustn't be wasting our time. Now everyone's under quarantine and the situation isn't looking that good, and we're all forced to be within our own homes. We could spend the whole day watching TV or playing computer games, but the world does not look favorably to people who waste time and who procrastinate. Yeah, so what we mustn't do is waste time and procrastinate, because these cause low levels of resonance within us. Yeah, wasting time, procrastinating creates within us apprehension and feeling of guilt because we're wasting time. We know that deep in the back of our mind, in our subconscious, we know that we are wasting time, and time is precious, time is valuable. We don't have much of that. So if we do that, we're gonna find that again the universe is going into motion. Synchronicities are coming through, and often they're negative, because what is showing us where time waits. We feel worthless, we feel guilty, we feel shame. So it's going to give that back to us. So we mustn't waste time, and we mustn't procrastinate things. We need to be focused, because as we said, where we put our focus is where our world's going to go. Now, one other thing, guys, make sure you're helping others as well, whether it means just a simple phone call to people to see how they are doing, if they're okay, or helping some elderly person with shopping, or just maybe you're doing some voluntary work to help an organization help the masses out there, feeding them, giving them the help and support that they need, whatever it may be. Remember, once you try to help other people, and you try to put value into other people's lives, the universe will go and try to put value into your life. That's just because you got a mentality which is to help people. Yeah, so now the universe will come and bring people that will want to help you. So very importantly, yeah, try to do as much as you can for other people. If it just means a phone call, then give a phone call to people, cheer them up, make them feel good. They could be inside their houses and kind of like maybe depressed. They won't even know it, because depression can really kick in without even you thinking about it. But yeah, try to do whatever you can, but don't put yourself into any kind of danger. Don't put yourself in any kind of risk. Be careful, be cautious. Be considerate towards others as well, and try to help people as much as you can. One of the ways that you can help is by sharing this video, yeah, and putting a like and a comment, and I would appreciate that very much as well. So until then, stay safe, and I'll upload some more videos about this whole topic, and I'll see you in the future. Peace out.